remote event in person and remote, which is going to be a little bit of an experiment. But I think we're all set up. We got some great tech people working with us this evening. I'd like to do the call to order, and we're going to, if I can get a motion to waive our February meeting minutes. Can I get a motion for that? Okay, and a second?
Second.
All right, great. So I'm Hamilton Kane. This is Mia Liu, my fantastic co-president, and this is Ellen Goldstein, our treasurer. We'll start with just Mr. Newman. If he can jump in real quick. Hi, David. Do you want to come? We're going to try to get you in and out if that's okay.
All right. Hello, everyone. Good evening. Thanks for coming. You could partake more in the snacks. They're over there. I don't see the snacks doing so well. All right. So and look, as usual, I don't know. I never really plan these things in the sense of I never really know what you want to know. And so there are so many things going on here. I can't even fathom what you want to know. So I'm just here to tell you what you want to know. What do you want to know? That's it. What do you want to know? Questions? Oh, I'm going to get out of here really early. Quick, go for it. Yeah. Yeah.
In the sense of how flexible it is and how good the students, for seniors, major classes,
yeah,
flexible is it?
Yeah, so let me explain to you a little bit about, flexibility is interesting in this notion. For graduation purposes, students do need elective credits. Now, your electives, though, are selected for you by us already based on the major that you pick. So if you pick the social science major, those are your 5 electives, right? So most of the time, courses in your major, almost all the time, courses in your major are not required for graduation, but they suffice in filling up the elective credits that you must have, right? So there's that. So when you talk at another school, they talk about electives. There's all these cool classes you could take. The cool classes that you could take as electives are your major classes, right? So, but that does confine the other electives that you could take, right? So you're already taking electives, but it's the major, right? So there are challenges of, do we have enough space in a certain elective, and do you have room in your schedule? If you pick BC Calculus and AP Chemistry, those are both electives, both double period. That takes up 4 periods out of your 10-period day. I'd like you to eat lunch too. So that takes up 5 periods of your 10-period day. And so there's always there's all these classes you'd love to take them. Can you fit them? Not all of them. And so there's that, right? There's many students that get into electives like AP Chemistry, and then when it's all said and done at the end, we can't get in your schedule because you picked 14 classes, you can only take 9, right? And so even though we let you into 14, like when we let you in, we didn't realize you picked 14. And then when the computer sort of runs, you're only getting in 9. So we might tell you, pick your 9 because you're not getting into 14, right? Because there's not enough hours in the day for that. So what we try to do is try to bend over backwards to accommodate as many elective choices as possible, right? So I'm trying to run as many sections of AP Chemistry and AP Physics and whatnot, and all these classes that people want as much as possible. But for example, AP Psychology, for example, there's a lot of demand for it, and we can't even come close to meeting that demand. It's not a course that's required for graduation. Yes, do we have a limited number of people to teach it? I think that's somewhat of a factor. There's a lot of sections in various majors, right? It seems to be popular, but technically it's not something you need. It's not, and so I'm not going to run 10 sections of it, to be honest with you. And that's, I don't want to get into the boring minutia of it, but that's 2 people's entire salaries. I'm not going to dedicate $200,000 a year so kids could take electives that they don't need. And so some a little bit here and there. I run flight school for kids who want to learn how to fly. There's only one flight school instructor. That person teaches obviously in the aero major, and there's always like one section free that, you know, becomes his 5th class to meet his requirements for teaching. So, you know, some of it is around, you know, how much bandwidth we have as far as teacher power and whatnot. And some of it's based on rooms as well. Robotics classes have to happen in the robotics room. So there's just so much I can run on that. So there's so many variables that come in, but we try to give people as much as they want. Like, and then some kids, like, you know, they get into like 5 AP classes. That's like insane. They can't handle 5 AP classes. They got to slim it down. So then there's like, you got into all this and then we coach you to like down a little bit. So yeah, so that the survey is being opened on Monday, and students will be able to go in, and once you tell it I'm a 10th grader, it will eliminate some options that you can only take senior year, for example, or options that are just not available to that grade level. So you tell it what grade level, it tells you all the options. Hopefully you've been informed today and you have some idea of what you want to do, and then you just pick stuff, and then we try to figure out how to get everybody into all those things. So yeah, I don't know if that explained anything, but yeah. 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 Okay. All right. Let me see if I can ramble in my 10th grader mind.
So just for a minute, we have a mic. So that's the order. Who has the mic? Who has the order? Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, so I can't take her question? What happened? That's it? She spent 10 minutes asking questions. You don't get to ask it. We'll come back to you. I don't know what's happening. I just, you know. Yeah. Okay. Do you? Summer pre-calculus class. I thought the Rising Juniors, are they? No, they're not. No. Hmm? Yeah. No. And so to what end? What's the goal? And then do what? Senior. If your kid came to me and said, I've always dreamed of taking multivariable calculus, now we're having a conversation. But if your kid's like, I'm going to take AP calculus junior year, and then take no math senior year, no point. He'd have to talk to the math AP. So the argument is, I want to take multivariable after I take AB or BC calculus, and this is the only way to get there. And so that's an individual conversation with the math AP, Mr. Amata. Yeah, so he'll see what he could do. They'll figure it out. Yeah. Okay, now can we get to our question? I think she was next. Okay, I got your question. You want to ask it again? No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so I got it. Wait, do I remember? I don't even know. And so your question was 10th grade. So let me get into 10th grade mindset. Let me make sure. Okay, let me get there. At least if I mess this up, let me know. Okay, so required courses. Let's go through it. Let's figure out. You're going to take physical education. You're going to also take health. These are all required courses. You're going to take AP Comp Sci Principles. That's a mandated signature 10th grade course. You don't have to sign up for that. That's not an elective. Everybody's got to take it, just like DDP. Okay. What does it satisfy? I don't know. I want to give it, but it's a kind of a credit. You don't need another elective. It could satisfy a math credit if need be. But anyway, you are then going to have a choice. Here we're going with electives. You could take, you do nothing, don't ask for an elective in history. You get regular global history, Regents course. You could also take AP European history, which it could be in lieu of regular global history, or you could take AP World History. That is also in lieu of regular global history. All kids are going to take English, but you could sign up for AP Capstone Seminar, and that would be in lieu of and give you your English credit for 10th grade. You are going to take a science. Most likely, everybody in 10th grade is going to take chemistry. So either you took physics, or you took AP Bio, or you took regular bio in 9th grade. All those people are going to end up taking regular chemistry. You cannot take AP chemistry in lieu of regular chemistry. You take regular chemistry and then AP chemistry later if you want. Okay, I got math, science. Oh, math. So math, you could take geometry if you took algebra 1 9th grade. If you already took geometry, you're gonna go on to algebra 2, right? Okay, we're good with that. What did I forget? Anything? Am I good? Oh yeah, whatever level you're at in world language, 9th grade, you're gonna go to the next level in 10th grade. Advisory, currently we have advisory for half a year for 1 semester in 10th grade. Don't know if we're gonna do that next year. I gotta think around that. And so I'm gonna surely take some data from the current 10th graders to see what they think worthwhile, change curriculum, get rid of it, do more of it, whatever. Yeah, what else? Yeah. Oh yeah, and then what was that? Yeah. You could continue with student leadership, and you could take chorus, music, band. Those are very much electives, not needed for graduation. You've already satisfied your art/music credit by taking DDP and passing it. In the major, that's in media. And so intricate classes in majors are usually not offered as elective. You have to be in that. It's like, for example, all those cool law classes, all the SSR classes, those are not offered as standalone electives just for people in majors. You know, all the things I said is a pretty jammed up schedule. You might, I mean, if you're taking music and leadership, you're done, right? And so there aren't many double period, you know, like APs offered in 10th grade yet. So you kind of maxed out. You know, if you don't have, there could be something potentially to take, but you'll see when you look on the pull down menu, there are limited elective/AP choices for 10th graders. Most of those elective APs beyond the ones in history or English in lieu of the regular courses, most of those are for 11th and 12th graders. And once you put in your 10th grade, it won't let you pick. All right. Yeah. Oh, I don't know what's it. Oh, I gotta go back. I'm gonna get yelled.
Yeah, I have the mic.
Yeah, you have the
I'll
mic.
question.
Yeah. We got the conch we're passing around, fitting, we're in the library, we're talking literary conversations, awesome. Yeah.
Okay, hi, Ms. Newman. I am reaching out for your guidance on how to handle a situation with my daughter. It's related to a chemistry teacher.
All right, we're gonna, you're already, like, I think you're about to get way too specific.
No.
I think so.
No.
You're already talking about a particular chemistry teacher.
No, I'm not going to name her. So basically it's like I can get notification from Jupiter that my daughter missed like the 2 homework.
Yeah.
So it has been going on for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So I asked my daughter why, and she said it's because the teacher created a new Google Classroom and she forgot to add her in.
Yeah.
So that's why she didn't submit the homework on the day of that day was filled.
Yeah.
So she submitted and she thought, okay, I'm going to change the grade. But 2 weeks later,
Yeah.
I'm still getting notifications.
All right, so I'm gonna stop you. So the point is, this is a very specific issue about your kid in a class with a specific teacher. Just email the AP, the assistant principal. It's chemistry, you said? Mr. Evangelist, he'll clear it up.
Okay.
He'll clear it up. Yeah, just get him in. If you want to CC me, I'll follow up with him and whatever. Yeah,
I will.
we'll be good. Don't worry about it. Okay. Well, I know there was 2 more back there, 1 and 2. Yeah. Hi.
Just like checking on the request about the 9th grade. I'm not like completely clear. So they have already like the national goal schedule set for employees. Everything is already like set. I don't really have to choose a specific.
To AP or not to AP in social studies is a real choice, right? So that is, that might come down to being your only choice besides wanting to take course or music. Yeah, but the history choice is real, whether you take, you know, about half of our kids choose to take AP and not the regular history. So that's a big choice for 10th grade. There aren't too many choices otherwise. You know, help me on? Yeah, what? Yeah. Yeah, yeah. But a lot of the electives are really for 11th and 12th graders. The big elective choice that you're going to make is AP World, AP Euro, or regular global history.
And for the regular ones, they don't have anything that's specific check mark.
If you don't choose anything, you're going to get all the classes and global history, not AP. That's correct. Yeah.
Thank you.
And you wouldn't get music or chorus either. So you'd have to request.
The graduation and the party, how many tickets each family can get?
Graduation?
Yes,
You're a senior parent right now?
yes, I am.
3.
Three.
Only 3? Oh, I'm the bringer of bad news.
I hope for more.
Okay. I don't know. I didn't, oh, wow. Was I not supposed to say that? I don't know if that was public yet. I'm sorry. They asked the question. So, yeah, it's 3. The Barclays Center is a huge place, but it is somewhat limited in size. And so that's what we're looking at. And so, yeah, I think there will be a form to fill out if you need more tickets. And also if you don't need 3 tickets, there's going to be, some people that only need 2, and that can help to give 1 to other, people. So we're hoping people who don't need 3, that does not include your kid, by the way. So that's 3, your kid doesn't need a ticket. And so, so it's, 3 more on top of that. But hopefully some people who won't use all 3 tickets will let us know so we could sort of rearrange. But we'll have a queue of people who have needs beyond 3. And then it won't be based on like who's more urgent or who has a more like, story of why they need more or whatever. We're going to try to fulfill as many as we can, but we do need people who are not going to use all 3 to let us know so we can start moving some tickets around. But we do not have enough tickets. We do not have enough seats to give everyone 4. That is clear. And so it's, it might be a little bit over 3, but definitely under 4. So we need a little bit of, wiggle room and see what's happening. But yeah, sorry to be the bringer of bad news, and Miss Massey is going to have to forgive me if I just let a huge cat out of the bag.
Really this question. So do you able to do like selling the ticket? Since if some of the parents they need more, how do you can sell them a ticket since you say?
Wait, sell them a ticket?
Yes.
No, we're not selling tickets.
I mean, like, if the people want more,
You're
why
like,
not?
put them on eBay and watch people bid them up.
Like, if you want more, why not everybody get in free? If you want these and you want 4, 5, then you pay like $10 per ticket, something like that.
$10.
Yeah, you make money.
$10,000. Yeah, no, the graduation is paid for, right? And so it's paid for, and there's obviously a fixed number of seats. So some people will need 2, some people will need 4, and we'll hopefully make it work. Some people might, at the end of the day, it might just be like, you can't get more than 3 tickets. And so,
My real question
Yeah.
is like, do we have any like summer class offer to the kids like a health? Because like I heard some kids like currently in 9th grade, because in 10th grade it seems like their schedule will be very full. If they want to add like math team or something like that, they will not able. So since the health is like have I mean like 1 semester, is there like any some
Like-
health to offer?
like advancement stuff, we don't do that in summer school. Not too much. The only thing we did, and somebody asked a question about summer pre-calculus program. We used to do that for students who weren't accelerated, which is a sort of a bad term, but some students take algebra 1 in middle school and therefore come to us starting with geometry, right? I was like, there's no way I'm ever going to tell a kid that you can't take calculus at this school because you have to take algebra 1, then geometry, right? And then what was that? And so, yeah, and then algebra 2, and then you take pre-calc senior. You never got to take calculus here. Everybody should be able to take calculus here. So we offered summer pre-calc for those kids who weren't accelerated, right? But now we have a new way to do that. So now what happens is if you're not accelerated, we give you a double period, 9th grade algebra in the fall. You finish algebra 1, you take the Regents in January, and then you take a double period geometry in the spring. And so I don't need pre-cal over the summer anymore. So that's being phased out.
So
And
is it-
so, but we haven't gotten there yet for the would-be seniors. So we've just been doing that for a year or two.
So is it possible that the kid can take like upper math in the junior year, like pre-calc plus AP calc BC or AP, something like that?
Wait, at the same time? You lost
Like,
me.
yeah,
No.
no.
Wait, you want to take pre-cal and calculus at the same time?
Yes.
No, one's a prerequisite for the other one.
I heard that pre-calc is like some kind is like, like, I know some of the kids are able to take the AP calculus BC
Yeah.
at the end they take the pre-calc.
No way.
Alright?
No, you're saying that they're going to take BC without taking pre-cal.
Oh, they take it at the same time.
Here?
No, yeah,
I don't let it out of that. That's like setting you up for failure.
that never happened.
I don't let that happen. It doesn't work. I mean, the taking a prerequisite for a course that you need to finish to hand off to another course, and you're taking it simultaneously, that's a little scatterbrained to me. I don't know. Why, is that something Stuyvesant's doing? That sounds like something Stuyvesant doing. I've made a career out of never copying anything from Stuyvesant. And so, yeah, honestly, that doesn't make any sense to me, to be honest. But maybe part of your question also is taking acceleration class in summer school. Currently, we don't really do that. Unfortunately, we have enough students that need to go to summer school, right? That we have a robust program. All our teachers who will teach summer school surely have their fill with students who need to make up courses. We don't really have too much room to have students accelerate. And to be honest with you, there's not also too much reason to do so. I mean, there is ample time to take all the courses you want to take. Students graduate here with so many more credits than they need, that more than anyone gets at any other high school, and so including Stuyvesant. And so, so just saying that whatever, those kids are going to half a day of school at senior. But anyway, is this being recorded, Vito? I didn't say it. Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, so yeah, it's plenty of time. There's this always feel like go, like enjoy your summer, do something else. Have an internship if you don't want to enjoy your summer. I mean, there's plenty of things to do. Trying to get accelerated to no end to end up, it's not like, hey, you take all these courses and I guess there's more courses you could take senior year, but it's not really, I don't know. It's not necessary. It's called summer break. That's what it's called. Summer break. They need a little break from us. We need a break from them. Yeah.
Since you talked about the internship
Whoa, 2 times. Listen,
Also, like,
haven't
so we just
we-
need to make sure all the parents.
we've learned our lesson though. She operates the microphone, no one touches it. Learn your lesson.
Sorry, good to ask you. First selection about is that not reflected?
So here's I'll explain to you how things normally happen, I guess, in this regard. One, we do push-ins about majors. One of the good things about having advisory for sophomore year is to be able to do push-ins about the major process. And then, before the major fair and whatnot. Okay, explain this about guidance counselors. You're struggling and guidance counselor needs to reach out to you. They're going to reach out to you. They're going to find you and they're going to ask, they're going to solicit that sort of attention from you to have conversations to help get you back, right? You could also go to a guidance counselor or make an appointment for anything under the sun that you want to talk about, whether that be a social issue, something, outside of school or whatever, or something about, school. So if you don't reach out to them and they don't reach out to you because they know that, that you're doing okay and whatever, a lot of students fall in between. I would say a majority of our students fall in between. They're not seeking out their counselors because they think everything's going fine, right? And then the counselors don't seek them out because everything is going out fine as far as they know, right? Well, at least academically, right? So it's really, so if you're in between, really the parent or the student needs to reach out to the counselor and be like, I want to talk to you about this. I want to talk to you about majors. I'm going to talk to you about course selection. I want to talk to whatever it is. And that could come from the student or from the parent, right? But really, if a student, if they don't hear something about you, you know, involving non-school stuff, which rarely they're going to hear, unless you come to them, and they know you're not struggling, they might not reach out. And so you might not hear from them until it starts becoming, hey, let's start thinking about college, to be honest, right? But on the other hand, so it's a little bit more, you know, the responsibility, bad word for that, but of the student and or parent to sort of advocate and reach out if they want something. The counselor doesn't know what you want, but they, you know, and then they're surely going to facilitate that conversation. So if you find that there's something that your kid should be talking to the counselor and they're not really the type of person who's going to go and make an appointment on their own, make an appointment for them, and then the counselor will find them, and then that'll work out. So, yeah. All right. More questions? Oh, you got a microphone. Okay, good for you. She's not paying attention right now anyway, so ask your question.
So since you mentioned about internships, and my daughter is on 10th grade, and please starting in December, she start looking at internship if possible. So I think there's a lot of opportunity for engineering, but she's not an engineering program.
Yeah.
She preferred to be in the science or any others. It doesn't seem like school is balancing our internship opportunities. Is it possible to kind of like extend it to other majors?
Yeah, so our CTE majors, mostly engineering majors, are the ones where we have a work-based learning coordinator that works with those. And so all the CTE-like internships get sent to her, and then she's aware of those. So if it's like a law or some other type, it's not going to get sent to her. And so that's not how the CTE world works. It doesn't mean that a student can't find an internship on their own. It doesn't mean that they can't tap into, you know, various things here, assistant principals, teachers, people have things in mind, like, you know, that we have a lot of connections with this school. We have a lot of alumni with this school. You want to work, you know, I don't know, with a judge, we could find you a judge to work with, sort of thing. But so it's really, but we do have somebody in that role, but they're only aligned to the CTE world. And so most students, I would say, outside of the CTE world find internships on their own. There's a lot of internships available out there, and we make it, you know, we'll put in all the like websites that you can go to find internships in all the areas, but we don't really hand them over outside the CTE world. Unless, you know, I don't know, you get to know a teacher, you know, knows people. A lot of people have worked in the industry, have connections and whatnot, can set you up for those. Those happen as well. One of the great things about having the Alumni Foundation, having, you know, 60,000 people out there, 40,000 of them are here in New York City, right? And they work in all sorts of aspects in all sorts of fields, is we could sort of tap into them. And we do, you know, these career days and stuff, and you get to meet people who could offer you those opportunities as well. All right. Oh, she let you ask a second question after what happened before? Really, Mia?
But I think it's fun regarding graduation.
Oh, I know who the guest speaker is. You don't though. No, that I'm not revealing. I already told you only gave 3 tickets. That's the most you're going to get out of me. Yeah, the keynote speaker has already been selected, but no one knows yet. I mean, I know, but I'm not telling. Yeah, I haven't been authorized to tell anything. It's a person. Yeah. I mean, that's, you know, in this today's day and age, that's saying something. They'll be there live, person. I'm looking forward to hearing them speak.
Yeah, my name is Jane. I got 2 kids in school.
Yeah,
So
that's awesome.
my question is same question. Please, when we can get more counselors, it can benefit to the, you know, current students and also 2026. and 2027 is coming too.
Yeah, so you're saying hire more guidance counselors?
Yes, at least one more, right?
Yeah, at least one more. That, I mean, look, oh, college counselors specifically. Oh, you're not talking about regular guidance counselors, you're talking about the college counselors. College counselors, got it. All right, duly noted. I'll tell the person who does hire. Yeah.
If my child didn't receive invoice for AP exams, what are my next steps to resolve this issue after sending email? So no invoice for AP exams.
So everybody did get their invoices, right? They should reach out to testing people. Something seems to be awry.
If this is from Kim, so it's filtered from the chat. So it says, if my-
Yeah. No, something is awry. And so they need to reach out to my testing people or myself, and I'll forward it to the right person to find out what's going on, because those are generated by people who are signed up already through the College Board. And there might be an issue on that side. So we need to know right away to resolve that issue.
Can I add on to the question? Because I remember I saw it in the WeChat group. People say they forget to do the lunch form, so that means they don't get the fee offer for the AP. If they can prove the income, will they still able?
No.
Right? Too late, right?
Too late. There you go. Fill out the forms. Yeah. There you go. Follow the rules. Yeah. All right, more questions?
Started off with like the EDU email, and then they switched over to the NOT.
Well, I will say this. I mean, no, I get that, but obviously, something important like this, you should obviously check both. The DOE is really, I've gone back and forth with this over the last couple of years of getting rid of the EDU emails, even though everybody loves them. It's become problematic because the city is forcing you to do so much with the NYC student email that you can't do with the EDU email, right? And people like it because you get to keep it forever. You have students from 20 years ago still using it. I don't even know if we had it 20, maybe. And so, but so they have to get used to sort of using both. When I send emails out to many students now, I send just to the student email, not the BTHS email. So I don't know. Yeah, I mean, there's reasons to sort of migrate to one. I mean, the problem with it all, though, is that one, you lose it when you graduate, right? We can't reach you anymore. Sometimes we want to reach you for various reasons, so that's good. And students seem to want to keep it, and they use it literally as their email for going forward for social and whatnot, and that's fine too. So I don't know. So far we're keeping it, but yeah, students have to, I mean, there's a lot of things that you could only get access with your NYC student email to look at grades and transcripts and all sorts of things. You can't use your BTHS. So yeah, so unfortunately, you have to use a little bit of both. And I'm probably gonna start funneling over all important information to the student account, or maybe I'll send it, and I've been doing this also, sending it to just both, and then you get it twice. But yeah. All right, any more questions? Yeah, all right. I thought me was gonna. Yeah. Hi. No, that's fine. Wait, what do you mean? You miss an AP exam in the 9th grade? No, I don't. There shouldn't really be any 9th graders that are in an AP class. Yeah. It's just, AP Bio. Thank you. All right, I start these pilot programs. I forgot. Is your student in AP Bio? Do you know? Yeah, if you're in AP, if you're taking AP Bio right now, you should have got, yes, an invitation to pay and whatnot. Yeah, if if the student is in AP Bio and you did not get something, you need to reach out to us and we'll figure out what happened for AP Bio. That's right. I start these programs. I don't even remember the things I'm doing. Yeah. All right. Bye. Yeah, yeah. 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 Yeah, reach out. I mean, so you don't know who the guidance counselor is? Oh, they can go in, so you could see it. You can see it in Jupiter. Yeah. Yeah. So it's on their schedule. You could see it in Jupiter as well. All right. That's fine. Just reach out to Mr. Ventura, right? You could do that through the school website. Mr. Ventura is the assistant principal of guidance, and he'll just send it on to the guidance counselor and make an appointment for you. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Wait, what was the last thing you said? Oh, I got you, to go out and sort of seek out the kids and stuff. I mean, these are things, and it's not even about the number of guidance counselors per student and whatnot. It's just, sometimes it's just how many students are out there, right? Addressing, finding 6,000 kids and like getting to them, it's difficult, right? And I will tell you that and we've surely tried this, assemblies with 3,000 kids don't work. And so I will tell you that. And so, no, that's what. Yeah, yeah. I mean, guidance counselors, in ninth grade especially, they send out an introductory email. I'm your guidance counselor. This is who I am. This is where my room is. Do you ever want to reach out? Like, sort of reach out. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. I think that's also when, parents step in and they make an appointment for their kid, and then you make an appointment for the kid. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. And the counselors will go get your kids, they'll go find them. And so, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm supposed to admit people into this room again. All right, we got anybody else? What we got? Lots of questions. There we go. All right. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, wait, what was the last question? No, I'm just terrible at hearing. Yeah. Question is, if you become to have guidance counselors have assemblies, so that in the beginning of the year, the students are training. So you're asking like a recommendation of like a little assembly, just like say I'm your counselor sort of thing. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, yeah. I think a lot of schools because they already yeah. That they all organizational and yeah, yeah. I mean, it would be yeah. Right. Right. Yeah. What was that?
We're looking at that.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's something I can even figure out a way to incorporate in orientation or something and have them come. The problem with the orientation is usually when we do orientation, depends on when we do it, we don't know what classes you're in yet, and you might not have a guidance counselor yet. But if we do it at the end of the summer, we would. Let me think around that. But I think that's powerful, getting to visually be like, hi, here I am. Yeah. Wait, the 10th grader, you still don't know who their counselors are? Okay. All right, like an orientation again, like this is how to get around the building. They, no, I mean, there's something that we could do. Look, another thing about, we used to, and it sounds like we need to get back to this, we used to cluster advisories by counselor. So unbeknownst to you, all the kids in your advisory class have the same guidance counselor. Then the guidance counselor could just show up and be like, I'm all your counselor. And so that really works in 9th grade. And then this year, we just didn't do it by counselor for some reason. And I think we need to get back to that, because initially, the very first year we did it, it was all, and then the counselors went in the first few weeks from advisory and said, I'm your counselor, hi, and then only talk to kids 34 at a time, which works much better than, 1,500 or 3,000 at a time. So yeah, I think we could do that, and then all the sophomores will have, if they have advisory as well. Yeah, I think that could work, right? Yeah. More questions? Are we good? We're getting out one can. All right, no problem.
I think we need to sign it, right?
Okay,
Because we're running late.
all right, I'm done. That's it.
Okay, we're going to just now go into some quick updates on PA business. I'm trying to pull up the agenda on my phone here because my printer is broken at home. Here we go. So just one quick reminder that there's an open house on March 29th for the accepted rising freshmen. I believe we do need some volunteers, or do we, Shani? We've talked about this. Do we need volunteers to sell merchandise, etc.? Or anybody? Just, I'm sorry, I had a conversation with Shani about it. Anyway, that's something that we'll be mentioning in Tech Talk going forward. But that's March 29th.
Yeah, March 29. And I think last month, I think about 15 to 20 parents here, volunteers. Yeah, but I don't think Patricia can do this year because she's
Broken leg.
Yeah. So I think Sarah can organize that. Yeah.
I also wanted to mention another date, March 22nd, for sophomores and juniors, the PSAT and the SAT. If you're a freshman or a senior, you don't come to school until I think it's 12:50. Is that right? 12:58. Yes, that's right. I had that number in my head, but so just to we'll remind you on Tech Talk as well. But that's another big date that's coming up. We're going to hear some reports now from our different subcommittees, but first I think I'm going to hand it off to Ellen Goldstein to talk about the treasurer's report.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Ellen. I'm the treasurer. I'll be super quick.
Hey, Ellen, excuse me, could you just fix the camera?
Face the camera.
No, so like move the, there we go, beautiful. Thank you so much.
Oh, for this microphone. Anyway, hi, everybody. The first thing I wanted to report out on is huge thanks to Kim and Sharon and everybody else who worked so hard on Lunar New Year. We do that as a great event for our families, and we actually don't budget it to be something that we make money on. And this year we actually made $18,381 on Lunar New Year. So, and thank you to Ting for the sponsorships. Thank you to everybody who worked on that event. It was really successful and wonderful. Yay. Now I get to put it in the budget for next year at $20,000. So as far as our annual fund, and I encourage everyone to please consider, if you've not done so yet this year, to donate to the annual fund. It is our meat and potatoes fundraising. Is what allows us to do what we do. This year we have raised $195,221 in our annual fund, which is awesome, but not quite where our budget is. So please feel free to make a contribution. The spring gala is coming up. I'm going to let the events people talk a little bit about that, but that's another big thing in our budget. We added a line, if you were at our meeting last year, for CIEE International Education. We are putting $25,000 into that program, and there's actually a matching grant, so that will net how much?
It'll be a total
Of $100,000 for the kids who participate in the CIEE International Education Program. So that's a great opportunity. What have we been doing lately? Huge shout out to Shani. We have been fulfilling the teacher wish list requests. So far, we've spent just over $20,000, but I think we're not finished. And we're going to end up spending closer to $40,000 on the teacher wish list items. So that's basically what we've been up to so far this year. I'm happy to answer any questions about budget or our financial situation, anything. Not as popular as Mr. Newman. Nobody likes to talk about money. Okay, well, that's a, yeah.
So, is it mentioned to you about up the sale, so we can money into sales?
Through the sale of merchandise? So my understanding is we do budget to kind of not make money on merchandise that much, but we do recoup a little bit of what we spent. Like we spent about $20,000 purchasing the merchandise, and we budget about $6,000 back on it. Most of that $6,000 will come from the new student orientation on the 29th. That is my understanding. Traditionally, that's when we sell the most merchandise.
Sorry, I didn't.
No worries.
I think we have misunderstood. I misunderstand. I'm asking about the online payment sale.
Oh, Zelle. Right. So here's the problem with Zelle. So I did set it up, and we were able to use it for the sponsors for Lunar New Year because we wanted to make it as easy for them as possible. The problem with Zelle for everybody's donations is the tracking. We have to enter every donation that we get into our system. I have to have a name. It's better if I have an address. It's best if I have a name, address, and an email. And then we have to report out on our donors at the end of the year, so that if we're ever audited, we're completely above board. And with Zelle payments, it's very difficult. You only sometimes get an email. You don't get all the information on the people who are paying you. If somebody knows technically how to change that, that's great. I totally understand. We do have the EAT system where people can pay online, where we do get all the information that we need. So that's why we elected not to open up Zelle for everyone to make payments.
Probably that is an idea that I had from Wisconsin. We use the Zelle, but remember at the bottom there should be have a memo, so you can write down your name, student name, classroom number, or whatever the kid in
Do parents do that?
Yes, and also the email. So the
Right.
person can send out the email, the information to them, like you get for the tag. I mean, the most important thing is the email. So once.
Right, exactly, because that's how we acknowledge, yeah.
I mean, like, for me, even in the WeChat group, a lot of people, they don't know English. I teach them step by step. So in that way, they know how to do it. I mean, like, as a PA, and also we don't have, like, in the front end, so for my suggestion, like, we should be open for the, any way that we can, accept the donation from the parents, including the cash. Even the cash, like, with the open house, in one day, we get like 30,000. We accept the cash and, by, we print out the form. So the parents in front of us, they fill in their information and we count the money in front of them.
Yeah.
So that is like a transaction. But
I'm not, I mean, I
Everybody
think that's
knows.
fine. We're open to it. There's a couple of things.
Mhm.
It's just me and Lee, and there's 6,000 students. So it's a lot of data entry for everything that we get. And so we have tried to make balance between trying to make it as easy as we can for people who want to contribute, but not go bananas on our part as volunteers who have to enter and account for all this information. This is why cash makes me nervous. Unless it comes with the way when people send checks, they fill out that form. A lot of the time I get an envelope, it just has a check in it. Sometimes it doesn't even have the full name printed on the check. I have no way of tracking that donation. So that's what we're trying to sort of balance out, is like make sure we're following the rules and entering things the way we're supposed to and tracking things the way we're supposed to, and also making it as easy as possible. But totally open to talking about it. Of course, we want to raise more money and we want to make it easy for people. So if there's a better way of doing it, I think we should look into it.
Yeah, I think that we need to make like an easy way for the parents to do the donation. Because like I know some of the parents,
They have trouble with the button,
I mean,
the
not
ads button.
because of that, because you like some of the parents, they don't even have like a legal, like immigration stuff. So they will prefer to donate by the cash.
Right.
So we do have a pattern like that. They will follow like, okay, if you suggest them donate 100, they will have no problem with it. And sometimes they have problem, they send out the check. So they will love to do donation by the cash.
Yeah.
So I think this is like a good topic we need to discuss.
Yeah,
And also, like, we should not say no to any type of the donation, you know.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, the anonymity of Zelle is what caused the problems with that. Anyway, the only other thing I want to say, and I'm going to hand it back. We are coming up. It is the spring. This is the March meeting. We're going to be starting to recruit for our PA members for next year. There's a bunch of us whose kids are graduating. Our kid is graduating. I would love to invite people to think about becoming treasurer for next year. And I would love to invite people who have financial management, QuickBooks experience, because it is a fairly technical position, which is why I'm putting the word out now. If there are people who are accountants, bookkeepers, financial managers, who are interested in being treasurer for next year, please feel free to reach out to me at patreasurer@bths.edu. And that's it. Yes, please.
Okay, so our guest speaker is going to be Ms. Iacano. I do have one issue because I have a parent who has to dash out. Is that okay? Just have her come up real quick before you. Is that all right? Okay, so Tiffany, Leslie Ann, Sumi have been really very hard at work on our next fundraising event, which is the gala and the auction. They have some news to report, and that will be on May the 9th.
It's really Tiffany and Leslie. They've been really hard at work on this.
Tiffany, oh, perfect. We can see you. Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah, so we have the gala coming up. It's Tuesday, May 9th, I'm sorry, May 9th, 6:30 to 10:30 at the Bell House. We'll start sending information electronically, but we do, if you're here, you may have seen these getting passed along. They're the flyers. Right now, we're really just asking for donations. We'll also, we also have a paper going around. It's actually a QR code. You can scan it and they can submit the donation forms online, and we'll also get that sent electronically. Is anybody logged in? No, I was gonna put it in the chat. Yeah, so if we do have hard copies, but for everyone's convenience, is also an online donation form. If you can donate, if you know any businesses or organizations who would like to donate to our school, please just spread the word. It can be really anything, high value items, educational resources. So we just hope that you guys can spread the word about donations and also make it out to the gala.
So hi, I just wanted to also say that right now we have the donation form and a live invite. But in the upcoming week, we want to have a platform ready for you to purchase tickets. And also the donation form will be on there as well. And it was one more thing, the tickets, the donation, and the auction itself. So that will come out in the next week or so. And it'll be virtual.
We're going for about 50, but then that's the entry to the gala. But even if you don't attend the gala, you can still
Do the auction.
participate in the auction.
Yes, so the raffle would be in-house at the gala, auction would be virtual online. Okay, thank you.
I have one more thing. So one part of doing the fundraising this year is calling some of the old businesses that donated for the anticipated gala in 2020 that never happened because of COVID. We have like hundreds of donations, and basically what's involved is calling the business to see whether they're still in business and whether they will honor what they donated, because nobody ever got to use it. So if you're willing to make a few phone calls to these businesses and just help out and see whether we can secure those donations that we got a few years ago, that would be great. There's a email address on the flyer. If you would email there and say, hey, you know, this is me and I'm available to make some calls, that would be great. We could really use the help.
Or if you're here now and would like to leave your information, we'll take that as well.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Okay, I will. Thank you. Okay. All right. Thanks.
Thanks to you all. And now I guess Lisa Nakano, who's I know from Safety Committee. She's our featured guest speaker tonight, and we're really thrilled to have her here.
Thank you, Hamilton. Hello, everyone. Yeah. Iacono. Lots of vowels. You're welcome. Shout out to Ms. Finkelstein and Ms. Taylor. I think Ms. Taylor just like that. Shout out to the parents I know. All right, so I'm Ms. Iacono. Ms. Iacono, the AP of Health and Safety here at Tech. I actually started my career here in the college office in 2012. And then from the college office, I went down to Health and Safety as a dean slur. So I was part counselor, part dean. And then in 2019, I became the coordinator of Health and Safety, and last year the AP. My department consists of 10 deans, 1 secretary, 17 school aides. I supervise the RFA liaison, who's also one of our chemistry teachers, and I work very closely with the infirmary staff, the custodians, and school safety. I'm a liaison to the 80th precinct. I actually attend weekly meetings with the precinct. I'm in constant communication with our youth officers and our neighborhood coordinating officers. I conduct monthly safety meetings that Vito's been at, and Hamilton joins us, and so does Mary. Oh, and shout out to Mary Hune. Hi, Miss Taylor. I'm also the building response team leader. The building response team is responsible for providing direction, leadership, and guidance to the building response team during an emergency. At the onset of an incident, I activate the necessary BRT roles. The BRT leader also acts as the communication liaison between the BRT and the principal during an emergency. And right now we've got 26 members on the building response team. I'm responsible for conducting the 12 emergency drills that we hold every year. And that's 8 outdoor evacuations and 4 soft lockdown drills, which like our final soft lockdown drill for the year this year. We could have more if we want, but we had the last required one on Monday. And I'm also the AP that supervised most things COVID. So for 2.5 years, I was also known as AP COVID. So if you've got an upperclassman here, every letter that you got had my name on it. Some of you may have had to tell me what the symptoms were that your child was experiencing. It was a little rough having to hear these stories where the entire family was sick, and this is pre-vaccination, pre-testing. So I'm glad we're at a place now. I know COVID is not over, but we're at a much better place than we were exactly 3 years ago. So I'm happy to actually be here and have this in person. I know we've got the online crew, but here I am. So also out of my office, our elevator passes, identification cards, and we are home to the lost and found. So if your child loses it and someone finds it, it usually winds up in my department. So even though they're in high school, please tell your children to put their names on everything. And I can't tell you how many earbuds we have and earbud cases that are just stranded in a Ziploc bag. So, you know, at this point, they can come take them. One of our deans actually acquired hanging racks for clothes. So we've got one hanging rack in the cafeteria, another one downstairs in the basement. So we actually hang the clothes that we find, the coats and the gym uniform, the phys ed uniforms and sweaters and stuff like that. Water bottles, I know they're expensive. Have your children put their names on their Yetis and their lunch bags and their instruments and all that other kind of fun stuff. Their graphic calculators, put your name on it. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, but we'll loan them out if a student needs one and we have them bring it back. Glasses and keys. So we find a lot of, I know you can't put your name on your glasses, but try not to take your glasses off. Or maybe put a luggage tag on your keys. That would be very helpful. So, I don't know, what else? Questions, concerns, comments?
Do you have the mic?
I think your hand went up first, sir. I hear you.
You didn't mention phones, so I assume that
Oh.
students are actually good.
And phones. But phones don't last long in the lost and found because students realize very quickly that they lost them and they come to find them. And it's very easy to match a student to their phone, either based on what does it look like, what kind of phone is it, and then put your passcode in, and there's their friend, their pet, their whatever picture they have on the screensaver. So, yes. Sure.
And I was told that students cannot self-dismiss under no circumstance. 100%.
Yes.
Even if they have regular doctors.
Someone really needs to come get them. If they're under the age of 18 years old, we are responsible for maintaining their safety and they really need to remain in the building. So someone needs to come get them. And someone on their blue card. So even if you have an aunt or an uncle or a grandparent, you can put them on the blue card and we will confirm their identity and release your child to that person. Or a neighbor, or a close family friend. They need to be on the blue card. You're welcome. Keep going, sure. Oh my goodness, absolutely. So my secretary, Ms. Ferrigno, if you've called about 504s, elevator passes, or COVID, I'm sure you've talked to her as well. So she's helped so much with that. So. Yeah. Yes, so we would get the information from the family or the student and then pass the information off to our attendance office, who would then reverse it to reflect it was a COVID related absence. Yes. You're welcome. Anything there? Anything online? I can't see anything.
I don't think so.
All right, so names on everything. Very important. I guess, and encourage your children if they've lost something to come check out the lost and found. And I guess that's really about it. So if you want, you can email me, you can call me. I'm on the website, it's very direct. My office, our office, is kind of like the 311 and the 411 of the school. If someone doesn't know who to call, who their child's guidance counselor is, somehow my name and my number is like a direct line of communication on that website. So if you have a question, you don't know who to call, you can give us a call and we'll help you. Oh, and speaking of health and safety, Mira Hewen, here's a story. I'm so committed to the health and wellness of our community that a couple of weeks ago, our very own parent coordinator, Mary Hewen, was outside a couple of blocks away and broke her ankle. Well, we didn't know it was broken. Called our office, and a dean and I went to go retrieve her at the bookstore where they gave her ice and she was resting with a wheelchair, and we escorted her to the emergency room. So it's my little self, my shameless plug about my department and what we do. So Mary, we miss you so much. We need you to come back. All right. Thank you, everyone. Oh, sure. Yeah. That is not at all anywhere in my world. Principal Newman? Scaffolding?
Scaffolding coming down.
Sorry, I couldn't even make something up for you. All right, so thank you for having me. If you think of questions later on, send me an email, give me a phone call. All right, be well, everybody. Thank you.
We were really grateful to Miss Iacono for coming tonight. I'm get to see her on a Zoom every month with the safety committee, including earlier today. And she and her team just do an amazing job, and I learned something new every single time. So really, really great work. So we're going to just kind of wrap up here with some general sort of announcements and some business here. I wanted to give you a quick little report from the school leadership team, which met last week. We are working on several different sort of data gathering initiatives. But one thing we're probably going to be doing for seniors is an exit kind of Q&A sort of thing. And Jennifer Bernstein, who is our chair, is working on that. In fact, I just got an email from her with the draft of this. Will be going to all seniors before graduation, and we'll touch on their various experiences and years and sort of the different phases of their time here at Tech. So let's see here. I'm having to work off notes from my phone, I'm sorry. Just wanted to mention, as Ellen alluded to earlier, that we do have in our May meeting, we'll be doing elections for next year's PA officers, and we very heartily encourage you all to join in that way. We have several members who are rotating off the board, including myself and Ellen. Our son is graduating, Lisa, who's done a terrific job along with Rachel with comms. Big shout out to the two of you. And our two senior reps who have been longtime volunteers, Susie Small and Patricia Korej. Patricia in particular has done an extraordinary job working kind of around the clock on the direct appeal. And she unfortunately couldn't be here with us because she's mending a broken leg at home, but we really, really appreciate all of her extraordinary efforts. Let me see, is there anything that you have?
The May meeting will be in person.
The May meeting will be in person, and right now our April meeting will be remote, right? Okay. And that's on April 26th, which is a Wednesday, right after the break. Yeah. Let me see if there's anything else here.
Well, maybe I can.
Yeah, go ahead.
So yeah, just for the family appeal, that we have some donation form here. If you would like to donate cash, or you would like to donate like a check, and you can bring the donation form with you, and later send a check with with the form together, or donate. If you would like to donate cash tonight, our treasurer is here. So
Leave your email address.
yeah, include your email address, yes. Yeah, so for the donation, is we have a donor who would like to give us like 20,000 donation matching gift if we reach the 40% percentage. So that's why we encourage you to donate to PA. A small amount it's good, yeah. So just wanted to make more parents engage. Yeah, thank you.
So that really kind of concludes it for us. Is there anybody have any new business or anything that you'd like to raise with us while we're here in our, I believe it's our first ever remote / in-person hybrid? Yes. It's the, what's it called? The Bell House. It's nearby. Where is it?
It's Union and 4th Avenue.
Yeah. And Leslie did an extraordinary flyer. So gorgeous, very Great Gatsby-ish. Yeah. Okay, so thanks again for coming. Our next meeting will be, as I said, on Wednesday, not Thursday, but Wednesday, April the 26th. We have again our big welcome house for incoming freshmen on March 29th. And I would like to get a motion to adjourn. And a second. Thanks again. We'll be in touch with Tech Talk.
Thank you, Vito. Thank you. Thank you, Kim.
And we had about 46 people.
Yep, it was good.
All right, get home safely.
Yeah, you just come here, please sign up. Please